What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's Wade's word of the day. It's Wade's word of the day. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let's talk. Let's talk. Who's hanging out with me? Make sure as you come in the room that you, in fact, tag, text, like, and share. Make sure you like the post. Send some hearts, some likes on the post itself before you come into the room. Who's coming in? Who's hanging out with us tonight? Come on in the room. Let's talk. Let's talk. It's Wade's word of the day. It's Wade's word of the day. Come on in the room. Let's talk. Let's talk. Who's hanging out with us tonight? Who's hanging out with us tonight? Come on in the room. Lady Shakira has made her way in the room. Good to see you. Good to see you. Audrey Barnes Lee has made her way into the room. Good to see you tonight as well. Good to see you tonight as well. Come on, tag, text, and tell somebody. Come on in the room tonight. Tag, text, and tell somebody. It's Wade's word of the day. Who else is hanging out with us? I'm going to do what I'm asking you all to do. I'm going to share as well with me. What's going on, my sister? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in the room tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. Gina Marie, good to see you. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in the room. Man, it's Wade's word of the day. Come on, everybody. Tag, text, and tell somebody. I need you at a minimum to text 2 people and tell them to come on into the virtual, come on into the room tonight. To Shauna, missionary Patrice, what's going on? Good to see you all this evening. Ray, thank you for the sound check. I appreciate you, brother. Every night you are on top of your job. You're on top of your job. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Wow. Wow. It's Monday night. Y'all know how I feel about Mondays. Yeah. Monday is a redo, a restart, a new chance, new opportunity. And so we're grateful to be here tonight talking with you all. Hey, let me take a moment and just share like I'm asking you all to do. Is that all right with everybody? In the meantime, talk to somebody in the room. Tell them hello. Tell them good evening. Good to see you. Mondukes has made her way into the room. Man, we're looking forward to being with you on this week, this upcoming week. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Everybody come on in the room. It's Wade's word of the day. Diane Lattimore, good to see you. Good to see you. Now, y'all know why we come into the space every night. We don't come to tear down. We come to lift up. We come to encourage, but we also come to inform. We come to talk about the things that shape our world, that make our world. Specifically, we come recognizing that he who knows all things, sees all things, does all things well, right? He is in the business of blessing us. And so we talk about a plethora of things, practical things, spiritual things, because we understand that we are triune, mind, body, and spirit. And God is working on all of that with us. We understand even that we're getting our healing through the storm and through the rain, through the heartache and through the pain. So that's why we come into the space to encourage one another, to let one another know that God, in fact, will get glory out of this. We come to look at those things that would try to block us and stop us, right? Our negative self-talk, our haters, our fears. We look at those things and those persons who would try to stop us from moving in the purpose and the plan that God has for our life. And we look at them and we say, hello. That simply means we showed up in spite of them. Can I get somebody tonight? Do your boy a favor. Just take your finger right there and just type that on in for me tonight. Just simply say, hello, hello. Yeah, speak to your negative self-talk saying, I'm showing up in spite of you. Your fears, I'm showing up in spite of you. Keith Thomas, what's going on? Chris, I see that you made your way into the room as well. So, man, it's good to see everybody tonight. It's good to see everybody tonight. Come on in. Come on in. Who else is hanging out with us on tonight? Who else is hanging out with us tonight? All right, all right. Let's go ahead and get it started the way that we get it started. It's Wade's word of the day. Here we go.
And so what are you guys going to do today?
I like to get an encouraging word. You know where I can get an encouraging word at?
Wait a minute, y'all. What time is it? Is it 8 o'clock? Is it time for Wade's Word of of the day. It's time for Wayne's Word of the Day.
I heard a word one day. I heard a word one day. One day when I was going through.
Are you ready for Wade's Word of the Day? It's 8 o'clock. It's time for Wade's Word of the Day.
Man, it's Wade's Word of the Day. Yeah, it's Wade's Word of the Day, and I'm excited to be with you all on tonight. Come on, everybody, tag, text, and tell somebody. Like and share. That's what we want you to do every night. Tell them it's 8 o'clock. It's Wade's Word of the Day. Now, I want to talk about this word tonight, dominant, if you will. I had thought about going one way with the discussion, have been thinking about it that way, but then I messed around and I don't know what I was thinking, but I messed around and listened to a Board of Aldermen meeting. So somebody should have called me and stopped me and said, don't listen tonight. Don't listen tonight. Don't listen tonight, because I want to be encouraging. I want to Maxine Howard, what's going on? Kadila Boland, what's going on? I want to be encouraging, but I messed around. Yeah, I messed around and listened to a Board of Aldermen meeting tonight. I set up in my mind I wasn't going to speak tonight. I was just going to listen. There's supposed to be a presentation and everything like that. And it then messed around and got me frustrated. messed around and got me mad. Got me hot. Yeah, yes, it did. It certainly did. It got me hot. I'll just say it was the plantation message. That's what it felt like to me. That's what it sounded like to me. Can I just keep it 100? I try to keep it 100 in this space. This whole message is look at me, look at what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, I don't see it. Certainly don't feel it, don't experience it. So it frustrated me. But then I was like, well, that's what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about dominant, and sometimes how the dominant culture does some things, tries to shape some things to try to frustrate our progress, frustrate our purpose, frustrate the plan that God would have for our lives. And sometimes they institute and bring folk in who look like us to be complicit in the madness. Yeah, in the madness. But Dr. King was that they don't just give up power easily. You got to keep on pressing your way. You got to keep on pushing your way. You got to keep on standing in your truth and in your belief, knowing that he who sees all things, he who makes all things well, certainly has the ability to fight your battle. And I began to think about that even in the case of Nehemiah. Yeah, even in the case of Nehemiah, how the dominant culture had tried to frustrate his purpose and tried to frustrate the plan that God had for his life. Anybody know anything about Nehemiah? Nehemiah gives up a place of prominence, if you will. He is in the king's cabinet. He is, in fact, the cupbearer. He holds a place because, listen, he tests everything before it reaches the king's plate. So he has a powerful position. He has a serious position. He has a critical position. But yet, when he gets word about what's going on with his people, don't you miss that? When he gets word about what's going on about his people, how they're being treated, he gets frustrated. But the Bible says first he gets sad. His countenance falls. Because here is the reality: if we all ain't striving, if we all ain't pushing, if we all are not growing, that ought not to make us happy. That ought to make us sad. Yeah. And I feel that way. I'm sorry, I feel that way. It ought to not make us happy. We got to get beyond this whole notion, cream rises to the top, this whole notion about some of us helping some of us. No, we all in this together. Ask some of them famous folk who thought that they were beyond that till they were no longer beyond that. I won't call their names, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, they thought they were beyond that till they were beyond that. Till they were told, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know, these were the ones who like to run to the king, who like to tell all the secrets, who like being in the house and not in the field. You know what I'm talking about. But Nehemiah is sad when he thinks about what's going on with his brothers, with his people, with his hometown. And the king comes in one day and notices that he's sad. His countenance is fallen. He is in a state of depression when he looks at what's happening and what's going on. He's frustrated. King said, what's happening, what's going on? And in this moment, he takes courage. He forgets about his position, forgets about his rank. He forgets about his stature, because in this moment, the only thing that matters is his people. Yeah, I said the only thing that matters is his people and the struggles and the situations and the circumstances that they are dealing with. Can I suggest tonight that God doesn't allow us to make it in certain spaces and places just for ourselves? God doesn't bless us just so that we can bless us, or it's just us, but God blesses us to be a blessing. We got to get beyond this whole notion. Folk need to be able to see that we can do it, so that they can ascribe. No, God bless you and me and us to be a blessing. Not just for you to get a bigger house and a bigger car and you to have a bigger title and a bigger office and all of that kind of nonsense. No, he blessed you to be a blessing. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right. Yeah. I know that's right. He blessed us to be a conduit, to be in the business of helping one another, helping each other, strengthening one another. And so Nehemiah in this moment takes the chance. He says, listen, man, I'm thankful and grateful to be where I am, but I'm troubled by what I see, what's going on as it relates to the people that I love, to the people that I grew up with, to the place that I come from. It's sad if you don't have a heart from that which you come from. Because if we're honest, these are the places where we receive that first education, that first understanding, that first sense of love. You don't have a passion from that which you come from. Come on now. Nehemiah says, my brothers have come and said the walls have been torn down. And while I am in a place where walls are built up and everything looks good and pristine and wonderful and marvelous, I need to go back to help build, to build that which has been torn down, to make that which has been crooked straight, to bring justice where there has been injustice, to be a part of the recovery. Yeah, to be a part of the recovery. And I just believe in this season of our lives that God is looking for some folk, not just some folk who singing and dancing, not just some folk who are comfortable just sitting in pristine pews with stained glass windows, not just some folks who are happy to be able to say, preach, Pastor. But he's looking for some folk who will pull up their sleeves and take off their Stacey Adams and put on some blue jeans and get in the fight. He's looking for some folk who will not only pray, but some folk who will practice what has been preached to them. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right. He's looking for some folk who will look beyond their title and their status and get in the business of getting their hands wet. He's looking for some folk who are tired. My producer's all in the camera. He's looking for some folk who are fed up with just going alone to get along. And always having to play the game in order to get to this perceived place. Well, you know, we can't be doing that. We can't be saying that, you know. At some point, we've got to do or operate in what we say we believe. We got to trust God. If we say we trust God, then we got to trust God that God is, in fact, in the business of keeping us when we dare to stand. Nehemiah says, I got to go back. I got to go back and help. I got to go and be a part of building back up what has been torn down. I got to be a part of the Reformation. I got to be a part of creating community that we all can be proud of, creating spaces that we all can be proud of, creating community where we all flourish, where we all have property and places and spaces that we can be proud of, where we can feel safe. Yeah. Economic opportunities so that we can all, yeah, I want to be a part of that. Yeah, I'm good here. I'm comfortable, but I want to get a little uncomfortable because I want to be a part of the Reformation, the Reconstruction, whatever you want to call it, but I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of this new thing that God is doing. Is there anybody tonight? You tired of being where God was and you want to be where God is? Is there anybody tonight tired of folk telling you that you got to wait? You know, this whole hurry up to wait kind of thing. Tired of hearing, well, we gave you one. The fact that you can name the people that you have advanced is problematic. I listened tonight to somebody name off 2 folk, and he's like bragging about it. The fact that you can count them on one hand is problematic in and of itself. See, when we get to the place where you can't name us, yeah, then we know we getting what we need to be. But as long as you can keep on saying, well, look at Oprah, look at TD Jakes, as long as you can name 1 or 2 or 3 of us, then we have not gotten to the place where we need to be, y'all. Nehemiah says, I want to go back. I want to go back and I want to be a part of the process. Yes, he does. I want to go back and be a part of the process. And he has enough courage to ask for what he needs. The king says, what you need. Nehemiah doesn't say, I don't need nothing. It's crazy today how some folk, I don't need nothing. No, you need something. If you're going to rebuild, you're going to have to rebuild. He's not ashamed, not afraid to say, hey, yeah, I need something. There is nothing wrong with demanding justice and righteousness. There is nothing wrong with asking for reparations. There is nothing wrong with that. And he makes his way back and he starts the process of building. Before he gets into town, he surveys. In other words, he is developing a strategy. It's not enough just to be, marching and talking. All of those things are part of the strategy, but there has to be a strategy that would pull us all, together. And we got to want the same things. I don't want the same people promising me the same thing who keep on giving me the same thing. Somebody ought to say, I know that's right. Yeah. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right. And when Nehemiah gets back to town, there are always some folk who try to frustrate your progress. You make a little bit of progress and some of them folks show up and they tell Nehemiah, you ain't gonna do nothing. Everything is cool here. Why you even show up? Everything is straight. We don't have those problems here. Oh, you don't see this wall that's been torn down? The city is unprotected. The people are not safe. No, everything is good. Then they start off trying to be nice because that's what the dominant culture do. They try to be nice. Well, come on, let's work together. As long as working together is working their plan. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's see if we can work together. But as soon as you tell them, hey, this is what I'm looking to do, not what you're looking to do, then all of a sudden you're the enemy. And then they start to ridicule you. That's what they did to Nehemiah. They said, man, even if they build the wall, it ain't going to be nothing. It ain't going to protect nothing, ain't going to secure nothing, ain't going to hold nothing up. Even if they build the wall. Say, even one of them little small animals run across that wall is going to come tumbling down. You're trying to frustrate your progress. In other words, suggesting that if you don't do it with them, you ain't going to be able to do it. But there comes a time and a place in each and every one of our lives that we got to look at our haters. We got to look at those things that would try to block us and stop us. What I say here every night at 8 p.m. and say, hello. Yeah, we're going to do it in spite of you. Hello. We're going to work together in spite of you. Hello. We're going to move in the purpose and the plan that God would have for our lives. Hello. Because we serve a God who can do anything but fail. And I love what Nehemiah says. Nehemiah says, listen, we're in the business of building, but we're also in the business of protecting. We got to protect that which is ours. And so Nehemiah says, listen here, we're going to build, but then we're going to have a crew that's watching out, trying to protect our interests, watch over for that which we're trying to do, because we're trying to better, not just ourselves, but the community at large. And if you read that text, there's something that he says wonderful and marvelous, and I want to end on that. And he says, and so we built the wall because the people had a mind to work. Yeah. We built the wall because the people had a mind to walk. We didn't let our distractors move us from our mission. We didn't let our haters stop us from progressing. We didn't let our little internal issues with one another divert our course. Said, and we built the walls. And notice what he said, not because I alone had a mind to work. He said, because the people had a mind to work. Can I suggest to you tonight, any new leader who's coming forward in whatever endeavor, that God gives the vision, but is worked out amongst people. Somebody type that in. That's textable. Yeah. God gives the vision, but is worked out amongst people. He says, we built the walls because the people had a mind to work. And I wonder, in this new norm, is there anybody in the room, you got a mind to work, where you're willing to let those little aggravating things we're going to lay that aside right now, because we got bigger fish to fry. Yeah. We're going to lay that aside. We ain't going to be distracted by the dominant culture because we got bigger fish to fry. We ain't going to just be looking out for our own little interests. I got to make sure my church is straight. I got to make sure my business is straight. I got to make sure my job is straight. No, if we all ain't straight, we all ain't straight. Nehemiah says, we did it. We completed it. We finished it. We brought it to fruition because together, collectively, we had a mind to work. And we didn't let any of our distractors, we didn't let any of our haters, we didn't let any folk who didn't have our best interests at heart block us and stop us from doing what the Lord had called us to do. It's Monday night. I say it all the time. Monday is another chance, another opportunity, a fresh start. Tonight, you got a fresh start. You got another chance, another opportunity to set those things which have become crooked straight, to mend the broken places, to get back on course, to move in the places and the spaces that God has called you into, and move with no fear. If God brought you to it, he in fact will bring you through it. If God said you can, I believe it was Michelle from Destiny's Child who said it, if God says yes, yeah. If he promised it, it shall come to pass. Do you believe that tonight? Do you believe that tonight? That, yeah, you've been given a new opportunity, a new chance, but move in it without fear. Move in it knowing that these will be the best years of your life. Man, I'm done tonight. I appreciate each and every one of y'all hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you. Y'all helped me work through some things. I feel all right. I feel better now. I appreciate y'all helping me work through my stuff too. Yeah, that's what we do. See, in this space, man, we get our healing. Yeah. So let's check in. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody feeling? Come on, put it on in there for me tonight. I'm gonna get on up out of here, but I guess we can end with this. I found this little one right here. I'm kind of feeling it. Y'all let me know if y'all feeling this one. I'm excited about the new programs we got going on. Tap in, get connected. Friday night, 8:45, Worship with Wade. It's been bananas. Saturday nights, we moved to a new time, 8:45. Did you see that? I think I'm just going to use the weekend for those two particular programs. Give me a little bit of a rest. I was trying to do Wade's Word, all of those back to back, but I think just on Friday we're going to do Worship with Wade, and then on Saturday, Did You See that? Did you see that? So let's rock out this way. Chris, God bless you, sir. God bless you. Let's rock out this way. Y'all tell me if y'all feeling it. Here we go.
Shine, 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 shine on all of them. Shine on all of them. My homie said to shine your light, so shine on all of them. Climb, climb, climb. You were born to win. Don't let them make you colorblind and not adore your skin. Hey look, we in the land of milk and honey, but ain't nothing sweet, these demons hungry. They go bananas for the money, but not me, I'm no circus monkey. It's crazy, it's crazy. No shaitan can drown us, we wavy. Too smooth to be fooled by fugazis. I guess that's all part of what made me shine, 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 shine on all of them. My homie said to shine your light, so shine on all of them. Everybody say, climb, 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 climb. You were born to win.
Man, I gotta get out of here.
Don't let them make you colorblind.
You make sure that you tag, tell somebody, do a watch party.
Hey look, I see so many come and go,
but I'm feeling this.
It's hard to get change when you're broke. My only goal while on the glow is not to let my soul corrode. The world can be toxic, especially when your skin look like chocolate. Be careful, all branches ain't olive. And look towards the sun for your solace and shine, 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 shine on all of them. Shine on all of them. My homie said to shine your light, so shine on all of them. Climb, 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 climb. You were born to win. Don't let them make you colorblind and not adore your skin.
Come on, one more time.
Hey, look, shine. Shine, 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 shine on all of them. Shine on all of them. Then
I gotta get out of here.
My homie said to shine your light, so shine on all of them.
Hey,
climb, 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 climb. You were born to win. You are born to win. Don't let them make you colorblind and not adore.
All right, Whitney.
Hey, look, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I said this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. If you feel me, say this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Again.